What's up, world? It's your boy B to the C, back again with another movie review. Make sure you hit us up on all social media at The Grind Calls, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget, we are answering the call to bring you pop culture positivity every day at thegrindcalls.com. Alright, so I got to see The Batman a couple days early at an exclusive fan event. It was a lot of fun, and it was good to be out there and hang out and see some people, and I really enjoyed this event, and it was really cool to see on the big XD screen. But Robert Pattinson's Battinson is here, the Batman, and we're going to talk about it. Since I am getting this to you a little bit earlier, this will be spoiler free. We're not going to talk any spoilers. I'm going to do another spoiler video later this weekend, early next week. And I'll get more into the things on that one. But this one's going to be just my overall thoughts and opinions of the movie. So let's jump right into it. In The Batman, Battinson has been this vigilante for about 2 years now, and all of a sudden this murderer shows up, leaving riddles at his crimes and trying to open Gotham's eyes, and Batman's got to solve this mystery. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, this is truly the world's greatest detective. Like, this right here is probably one of the best views that we've ever gotten of Batman as a detective. They really go hard on that, and that's something I really, really enjoyed about this movie. The world that they have built around this was awesome. Like, they really built a Gotham that feels real and gritty and dark, and make no mistake about it, this is a dark, gritty Batman. Now, I know, Nolan's verse was praised for being like a realistic take on Batman. This is kind of an even more realistic take on Batman, while being very true to Batman characters, and which is really hard to say because it's not comic-y, but it feels like a more comic accurate Batman. And Battinson did so good in this role. I know a lot of people were really worried about him. Me, I've never seen the Twilight films. The only thing I've ever seen him in is Tenet, and I thought he was great in Tenet, and I was like, yo, if he plays Bruce Wayne like he plays this guy in Tenet, wow, he'll be perfect for this role. More on that a little bit later, but I will say his Batman, it's tough to say because I literally just walked out, so I may be a little hyped on the movie, but he might be my favorite Batman. Like, wow, that's how good he was. He was brutal and vicious, and he doesn't show a lot of emotion, but you still get, by just looking at him and seeing in his eyes, that his mind is always working. He's always detecting. He's always, the gears are always spinning, and it's something that we haven't really seen from Batman in any of the other movies. So to get this from that, it really worked for me. I really dug that take on this character. Zoe Kravitz comes in as Catwoman, Selena Kyle, and they do something with Selena Kyle that, I'm a Batman fan, but I'm not like super knowledgeable about everything. So I don't know everything about Catwoman's backstory, but they do something with Catwoman in this that caught me off guard, but I really enjoyed it. It really seemed to work. And plus, this is going to be blasphemous because I did just watch Batman Returns the other night, and Michelle Pfeiffer, that's a Catwoman. And Batman Returns is arguably my favorite Batman movie, but Zoe Kravitz might now be my favorite Catwoman. I'm sorry. Just might be. She's stunning and vicious and beautiful and just on top of this role. On top of that, also going back to Batman Returns, we got Colin Farrell as Penguin, and he is unrecognizable the entire movie. I didn't know. I can't picture Colin Farrell there, even though I know that it's him. I can't do it. And this is my new favorite incarnation of the Penguin. I even think he did better than Danny DeVito did. And it's that mobster, realistic, badass Penguin, and that's what I really enjoyed about his role. Paul Dano comes in as the Riddler, and I'm not going to get too much into the Riddler's plan and the Riddler's character. I'm going to save that for the spoiler review. But I will say one of the weaker things about this movie definitely is the Riddler, and not because Paul Dano does a bad job. Paul Dano does a great job, but Riddler is up there as some of my top tier Batman villains. He's someone I have always really enjoyed, loved him. Jim Carrey did a fantastic job, uh, and this just didn't feel like Riddler to me. It felt like something else, but I don't want to get into that. I'm going to wait till spoilers for that. So, I'm not going to say too much on that point. Jeffrey Wright as Gordon was a great Gordon, and him and Batman have this great relationship in this movie, and I really liked seeing that. But I liked their relationship, but the whole movie, most of it is Commissioner Gordon and Batman. They're kind of like partners trying to solve this crime, which is cool to see. But at the same time, it kind of made me feel like Gordon was Robin in a way. But he's not. Obviously, he's not. And maybe we'll get a Robin, maybe we don't. I don't know. I don't even know if we'll get more Batman movies out of this. But you really feel that this Gordon is beaten down by the system, and he knows that there's corruptness, and the only one he can turn to is the Batman. And I think that really works. I think it works for the story. And it's a long movie, and there's a lot going on. There's Catwoman, there's her storylines, there's Penguin storylines, there's Batman storylines, there's Andy Serkis as Alfred, and all of this. And you might think, Batman has a history of putting way too much in movies and them not working well. This worked really well. The time really works for the movie. They use their time very well. It's a long movie. It's 2 hours and 56 minutes. But at the same time, it didn't feel like that until the very end. Now, this is one of my other negatives about the movie. The fact that the third act kind of falls apart. There's a lot going on in the third act, and it almost feels like it just won't end. It just keeps going and going and going, and I'm kind of like, all right, you're trying a little hard here. You might be doing a little much. Maybe we should have toned it down there. A couple of Matt Reeves' director decisions were kind of iffy on me. There's a lot of long establishing shots and drawn up facials and we're real close up. And there's some things like there that kind of bothered me, but those are director choices, and the movie works despite them, but you still feel those, and you feel the weight of this third act. Leading up into the third act, watching Batman really try to figure all this out, that's what I really enjoyed. Now, like I said, I was going to get to it. Battinson's Bruce Wayne. You don't get a lot of Bruce Wayne. Now, I will say that's another good thing about this is definitely the Batman. He's probably the Batman 90% of this movie. Even when he's not in costume as Batman, he's still out there being a detective. And, Batman, the character Batman he's almost three different characters. He's Batman, he's Bruce Wayne when he's with Alfred and away from people, and then he's Bruce Wayne in the public eye. And, Bruce Wayne with Alfred works. Batman, incredible. Bruce Wayne in the public eye, I'm not too sold on it yet. I would like to see a little bit more. He's exactly what we kind of feared, and he's very emo, broody Bruce Wayne, even in the public eye. Now, you see the public knows who he is, but he's still very broody and that kind of bothered me to a point, but we'll see if we get more of these movies, if we get to see more of his Bruce Wayne, and maybe we can get the eccentric billionaire kind of character out of him that I think he should kind of have. I don't know. All in all, this movie's really good. It is dark and gritty and violent. The Gotham that they build feels lived in. We don't have to weigh ourselves down with origin stories. We can just see these characters and we get their origins, we understand their origins, because of their actions. Not so much like they're having to show us where everyone came from and why they do this and all that stuff. No, we don't get out of that. And that's the real best part about this movie is it doesn't look at us as the audience and go, yo, let's show them how they all became this character again. No, they just are. And that's what I've wanted out of a Batman movie for a long time now. And that's what they gave me. And so that's why I'm giving The Batman, when I'm ranking it, The Batman is so dope. So dope. I'm excited for you guys to check it out. I'm excited to do a little bit of a spoiler review. Might have a guest on here. Might talk it with some other people. So, guys, get down in the comments. Let me know if you've seen The Batman. Spoiler free. Get down there. No spoilers, but be in the comments. Let us know what you guys thought about it. Let me know your excitement for the movie. Don't forget to follow me on all social media at The Grind Calls, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget, we are always answering the call to bring you pop culture positivity over on thegrindcalls.com. Until next time, answer the call.